This is a pom-pom ball, and here it goes. Did you just see that? You all would be wondering what's great about this. Anything that we drop has to fall back on the earth, even as light as a strip of paper or even as heavy as a pebble. There it goes, back to the earth. But have you ever thought, is there any invisible force acting on all these objects? Or is it a magic? Or maybe science? Right? Hello everyone, I am Debidutta and today I am going to narrate you a very interesting story, and after hearing it, you all would find out for yourself what's behind all this. So let's hear it out. Once upon a time, there was a little boy named Isaac Newton. He was very fond of playing with his friends, and that day he was playing with a ball. After playing some time, he was tired and he wanted to rest for some time. So he went to an apple tree and he sat under the apple tree. And he was taking rest. After some time, an apple fell right on his head. Ouch! And he wondered, why did the apple had to fall on my head? And why it did not fall on the clouds and drifted away or floated in the air. When he was thinking so, he fell asleep by the cool breeze that was blowing. And when he got up, he felt nice. He was not feeling hurt anymore. He was energetic and he wanted to play again with his friends. But that question remained with him. Why did the apple fell down back on the earth and did not float in the air or was drifted away by the clouds? He went to his parents and asked, but he did not get a very satisfying answer. In fact, no answer for it. And then he started trying with other objects. He tried dropping stones or even as light as feather, dry leaves, whatever he dropped, it eventually settled down back on the earth. One day he tried with his ball and he threw high in the air, high as he could. But after some time the ball also came back and fell back on the earth. And he was so obsessed with this question that why every object has to fall back on the earth and did not fly in the air or was drifted away in the air. It was right there on the earth. And he started doing research to find an answer for this. Days and nights and then weeks, months and then years. Finally, he found that it was the earth's pulling power that pulled everything back to it. The earth pulling power that he called as gravity. Yes, it is the gravity or the gravitational force of the earth that pulled everything back to it. It just worked like a string that pulls everything back on the ground. The apple too fell because of that. And after doing research, he found that the gravitational force depended on the mass of the object. The earth was huge, and because of its mass, the gravitational force or the gravity was too much for any object, not to let any object to fly in the air, but come back to the earth. So he discovered gravity or gravitational force, and he went ahead to give the formula to the world and the concept of universal law of gravitational force. And the gravitational force between two objects depends on their mass and the distance that they are separated. So he gave the formula to the world that the gravitational force of a particular object depends, the force that works on the other object depends on the masses, that is directly proportional to the masses of both the objects by the distance that separates them, by the square of the distance that separates them, giving a gravitational constant. And there we were. Now let me tell you few fun facts about gravity. Gravity depends on the size of a particular object. Larger the size or the mass, more the gravitational pull. Earth is huge, and so the gravitational pull of the earth is also very high. Second was the gravity of because of this gravitational pull of the earth, the moon was also in place, and it did not crash with the earth, or it did not fly away in the space, right? The moon is small. It has got less mass as compared to the earth. So the earth's gravitational pull is more than the moon, and it keeps it in position. And the moon is successfully orbits around the earth. It is the satellite, is the natural satellite of the earth. And this is how all the planets in the space are also moving in their fixed orbits or paths. And they don't clash with each other or they drift away in the space. It is the gravitational pull of the heavenly bodies that keep things in place, the planets, the stars in place. Third thing, moon is a small object, or you can say a heavenly body as compared to the earth, but still it has got a gravitational pull. The earth is not affected by the oceans on the earth, gets affected by the moon's gravitational pull. And that's the reason we have tides, we have huge waves on earth, and especially on a full moon day. Yes, on a full moon day, the tides are large and huge because of the gravitational pull of the moon as compared to other days. So, and the fourth thing and the most important thing, without gravity, our life would have been a hell. Just imagine, there would have been no gravity or that invisible force. We all would have been flying in the air. Our bed, our house, our school bag, chairs, tables, whatever, even we would have been floating in the air. It would have been so difficult to carry out our works, right? It would have been, our life would have been so difficult. Because of this gravity of the earth, everything is settled down and we can do things in a much easier and better way. And that's the reason, if you get a chance to see the picture or the video of the space shuttle inside, you can see all the astronauts, they float in the air. You know, they keep floating. They are not still. They are not able to walk properly. They drift in the vacuum or whatever air is there in that space shuttle. Why? Because in space, there is no gravity. That's why they keep floating. So now you got why gravity is so important. So what appeared so simple that whatever we drop falls back on the earth, and there is an invisible force behind all this, and that is known as gravity. So next time whatever you see around yourself. If a question hits you, don't stop and let it go. Find an answer for it. Look for the answer for it. Who knows? You can be the next Newton. So, everything around us that happens, any activity or any phenomenon, there is always a reason behind it, and that reason is being explained by the subject called science. Hope you like this video. So, thank you all.